Welcome to The Explainer. We love taking fascinating concepts and just kind of breaking them down into clear visual takeaways for you. Okay, let's dive right into this. Today, we're looking at a concept that literally takes the high-stakes, super dynamic environment of a corporate boardroom and, well, drops it directly into the classroom. It's called the classroom pitch empowering young entrepreneurs. Now, on the surface, sure, it sounds like a simple lesson plan, right? But as we unpack the source material today, we're going to see it's actually a complete blueprint for totally transforming how we learn. And honestly, that brings us to the central question we're exploring today. How do we actually make that leap? How do we transform a standard school student into a young entrepreneur? You kind of have to think of this as a journey. Actually, think of it like a hero's journey. Our student isn't just, memorizing facts for a test anymore. They're being asked to cross a threshold, to create, to persuade, and to innovate. The classroom is just the starting point, and this transformation into a real business-minded creator, that's the destination.
Okay, moving right along into Section 1, Empowering School Students.
Notice the deliberate contrast hidden right there in our source title. Let's just look at these two phrases side by side. On the left, we have school students. Now, traditionally, this implies a pretty passive role, doesn't it? Sitting in rows, quietly receiving information. But look on the right, young entrepreneurs. Wow, that implies action, risk-taking, critical thinking, real ownership. We're shifting the terminology here to completely change the focus from passive learners to active, innovative creators.
So, the crucial point is this single, incredibly powerful word, empowering. It is doing a massive amount of heavy lifting here. The business pitch itself, well, that's really just the vehicle. It's just the assignment on the grading rubric. The actual intended result of this source material is deep psychological and educational empowerment. By giving a student the tools to pitch an idea, you're essentially telling them, hey, your ideas have real-world value, not just a letter grade.
All right, on to Section 2, Preparing the Business Pitch. Now, our source text explicitly outlines this as preparing a business pitch for school students. And the truly fascinating part is the back half of that quote. It takes a really complex, potentially intimidating real-world tool, the classic investor pitch deck, and brilliantly scales it down for the classroom level. It demands actual real-world communication skills, absolutely, but allows students to practice them in a totally safe, guided environment. So let's unpack how this actually builds into an actionable process. It's really a step-by-step trial they have to navigate. First up, understand the business. You can't just go up there and talk. You need real substance. We're talking research, logic, market understanding. Second, structure the pitch. This is where the storytelling comes in. It's all about learning how to hook an audience and present your data clearly. And finally, prepare for the classroom, practicing public speaking, handling peer feedback, adapting on the fly. It's a comprehensive gauntlet for sure.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 3, the classroom pitch.
And this brilliantly illustrates the true meaning behind the source's title. The classroom pitch isn't just a basic presentation day. No way! It is the pivotal event where students take all of that intense preparation and actively step right into the role of empowered entrepreneurs. It brings the whole narrative full circle. It's the exact moment where our student masters the trial and officially claims their brand new identity. Let's synthesize the core components we've extracted today. It's kind of like a giant puzzle coming together. You start with the setting, the universally accessible classroom. Then you add the action, the rigorous trial of preparing a business pitch. Apply that to our target, school students. And when you combine the specific setting and action with this exact audience, the result is the ultimate empowerment of young entrepreneurs. It's an experience that permanently changes how a young person views their own potential.
I want to leave you with a thought based on everything we've unpacked today. If a simple shift in framework, like just introducing a business pitch to school students, can empower them so drastically, well, what happens to the future of business when every single classroom becomes a launchpad for tomorrow's entrepreneurs? Just imagine a whole generation that has been practicing true innovation and confident communication since middle school. That is the real power hidden inside the classroom pitch. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.